Sit, turn type, sit. Good boy. Ruff.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.
WrestleMania season is upon us, ladies and gentlemen, and boy, it's kind of shaky going across the avenue here. I'm kind of worried about what's going on. Not sure.
You're one of those people too. They're not that hyped about it this year.
Not that I'm not hyped about it. I'm more with the I don't see. Okay, I'm more worried about who's not gonna make it to Mania. That's who I'm more worried about.
True.
I was looking at.
I agree on that.
Yeah, there was a I believe it was What Culture who released 10 wrestlers who might not make it to Mania, and I'm like, ooh, that's interesting. So I want to see how this plays out. Mania is the biggest fucking night of the year, 2 nights of the year for wrestling. And you would think that everybody should be on the card. Everybody should be on the deck. Even, with the silliest of the Andre the Giant and what are they calling it? Is the Mae Young Battle Royal? Is it? Is that what it is? Whatever.
They've already done the male Battle Royal.
Right. So it's like, look at that. Even the women don't even get theirs anymore. So it's like, with the big, what is it? The ovaries that they used to guys that gave out as a trophy.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the amount of times I had to rewrite like my match card predictions because it got to the point where there's no way they're gonna fit like 8 matches or even 10 matches on each night. I mean, some people are gonna have to miss, which might suck for some people.
Right. It's either that or do we need to see the overbooked card of triple threats and and fatal four-ways? I don't think your nephew is happy about that either.
Yeah.
So leading up to Elimination Chamber, what's your sense of what's happening?
I mean, as far as the Chamber pay-per-view alone, I think we joked when we did the time, we said this is the most predictable show going into Mania, but I think I'll say for the Women's Chamber, I think it might have been the hardest, only because of what they did with the Women's Rumble outcome, honestly.
Right.
Because I think we'll see how the matches go out, but this might be one of those things where we say it may have been better to do Rhea or Charlotte 3 and then have Tiffany go against somebody else, but I don't know. I mean, and then especially with the Cody thing, like because Cody's gonna have 2 things on the show that we're gonna talk about, but it's gonna be very interesting.
Yeah, Elimination Chamber is not the. Although we said predictable, but not to say as clean cut fully, because it's gonna bother me what becomes the aftermath. So there's only 4 matches on that night.
Yeah, 4 and a talking segment.
Oh, great! Thank you, Rock. Thank you, Cody. All right.
I mean, how do you want to take? Do you want to save the Cody decision last and then just do the matches first?
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's go through that first.
Okay, so we're gonna have a women's tag team match. We're gonna have Tiffany Stratton, the WWE Women's Champion, team with Trish Stratus to take on Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. This pretty much just screams get the hometown hero a pay-per-view match, and I mean I don't see any other outcome than either Trish or Tiffany pinning Candice because Candice isn't there for the pin only.
Yeah, either that or do we see a Charlotte pop-up? Or are we just gonna save that until down the line for WrestleMania for during the rest of the run?
I mean, you definitely see Charlotte in the front row,
right?
I mean, I did think if they wanted to do like a bigger tag match, take Candice out and put Charlotte in, but then you have to deal with Charlotte and Nia as a team.
Right. I'm gonna say I'll take Tiffany and Trish here. Let the hometown hero win.
Figured.
But I do believe that something is gonna go down, and Charlotte maybe after the match attacks Tiffany again. So maybe we'll see that.
Right. I mean, well, they're still teasing. I keep saying that she gets a rematch for the title.
Yeah, but then I mean she's not winning it, so
I mean, do you think it would be the worst thing to make this a triple threat and add Nia in the mix?
yeah, because I don't think anybody wants to see that. Honestly, they really don't. That's not. Let they want to see, people want to see Tiffany and Charlotte. That's what they want. It's almost like the either we're gonna get the passing of the torch or we're gonna get Charlotte chasing her dad. It's gonna be one of the two.
That's more than likely what's going to happen. That they're going to
Yeah,
make Charlotte break her dad's record or tie it. But
right.
I don't know. Uh, Technically, this is a match, but unsanctioned. So whatever happens, it's out of the company. But in Canada, it's Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun and ridiculously scary at the same time.
I mean, we've seen how far these two can go, but I mean, now it's like they're in their home country, first time for WWE on Canada for them. God only knows what these two are gonna put themselves through.
I'm not sure if they'll go the lengths that they did when they fought each other in Ring of Honor, but the way Kevin has been going lately,
Maybe.
yeah. He's become the modern day Mick Foley. He's become, but
Yeah.
it's he's been throwing it all out there, laying it on the line. I'm gonna have to say Kevin wins this one. But man, this is probably gonna be the match of the night, ridiculously.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, as far as let's say hypothetically, this might be the last time. Hopefully, the
Hmm.
last time these two have a one-on-one match in WWE. But I think because I think are you in agreement that these two are definitely going to go separate ways from Mania? Like they're not going to do another match of this, like a rematch.
Please. And everybody will be clamoring for another match, but it won't be at Mania. Um,
But I do think we're going to get Kevin Owens and Randy Orton and Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross.
Most likely, I believe it's probably going to be that. I think it's probably going to be Kevin versus Randy and Sammy versus Karrion.
And for this one, I'm going to agree with you and say I think Kevin needs to win the most because it's weird with the booking because they have both guys lose and then it's like okay now it's time for one of them to win. Who needs it the most?
Right.
Technically, right now it would be Kevin because he needs to have him win going against Randy Orton.
Yeah, I rather see it that way. Sammy might not get a Mania match. He'll probably get that Friday night SmackDown match against Karrion.
Which would suck, but
Yeah, but that's that once again, that's another one that might not make Mania. Maybe not, but because they need a strong build up on Raw for it. They're gonna need it, and
it might
although
it might just be on Raw then. Like Raw Mania, might just be one of those matches then.
but although there has been some positive feedback on what's Karrion Kross's role on the show lately, it looks as though that he's finally somewhat getting a noticeable push. But I'm not sure whether or not it's going to make it to Mania.
It might be a little too late.
Maybe we'll see.
I mean, it's shocking when you get rid of 3 people and people are like, oh, he's interesting.
Well, let me look at something because I want to see how many matches we had at Mania last year.
14 altogether. It was 7 matches right? Each night. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a good barometer to aim for this year.
Right.
If I don't see them I don't see them doing 14. Now maybe we'll see them do 12, 6 and 6. Because there hasn't been anything really lighting up the storylines lately. So if if it makes the cut, I would be surprised.
Right.
So yeah, I got Sammy. I got Sammy losing this one. Kevin gets the win here.
Because I mean, I don't know if we are in agreement on this one, but I think Sammy might be a lock to win the Rumble in Saudi Arabia next year because that might be like his big moment.
God, if he makes it, hopefully he could stay. He could stay healthy. Hopefully,
That's true.
yeah.
Because I mean, if he misses this Mania, he has next year's WrestleMania to try again.
Uh, Another feel good story.
Yeah, I mean, not for nothing. They're teasing him and Drew for the longest time. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. We'll
Right.
have to wait and see how these rosters shake up after WrestleMania. I mean, we just had the transfer window nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, after WrestleMania, they're definitely going to shake things up again. Have send people up or send people down, or
Do nothing.
or maybe not. Maybe they actually go into the summer and actually try keep these rosters somewhat together.
Yeah.
But that third era SmackDown needs to go. I mean, you've seen the reports that people are very unhappy about it.
Well, it's because you're not giving any. You know, I'm more into it to where if you're giving the bang for the buck. If it's matches, it's matches. We're gonna have wrestling. Let's wrestle. We're not getting anything that's been fulfilling. I sometimes forget there's a third hour after it gets to 10 o'clock. I'm like, oh okay, and I'm like, oh my god, it's still on. I forget sometimes.
Sometimes I forget, like, is it Friday or is it Monday?
Right. I go,
Like,
oh,
I've caught
shit.
myself where I'm like, wait, why is this match going on too long? It's like, oh, right, you got that third hour.
But is it because that there isn't talent on there that they could be motivating and pushing?
I mean, they moved Priest and McIntyre. I mean, that should have been enough. But I think it's also
Right.
like the fact that they're still doing the Cody and the Bloodline stuff, which I think the Bloodline should have been moved over. Move them over to Raw because that's the one thing that's been killing the show. It's like repetitiveness. Even with the new people, like you move the White Six over, they're not being used because of somebody's hurt.
Right.
So that sucks. So, I mean, they moved Katana, Chance, and Kane Carter over. They're not using them on TV at all. So they only use two people that they transferred, and they're big names. But it's also like, okay, like now, like, what now?
Right. I feel as though, like I said, if you give me more wrestling for my buck, I'm okay with it. But that's not even what we're getting. It just seems like, I mean, God, we had a fucking 30-minute Rock promo. Jesus fucking Christ! I mean, come on, man.
Horrible.
Come on. Yeah. So that was a big fucking skid mark on the whole show. That episode. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Gotta do something more. But
And Raw on Netflix has been a success. I mean, not for nothing. There's some weeks where they end at 10:30, and that's probably the best time they could do it.
yeah, listen. As long as they like I said, provide content that people are going to be involved in, I'm fine with it. And so far, the Raw's been hitting.
Yeah.
So next up.
All right, so we're going into the chamber matches themselves. Let's start with the women. This is the women's elimination chamber match for the winner. Challenges for the women's world title. And we'll get into that in a little bit. But participants are Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Bayley, Naomi, and Roxanne Perez.
Interesting. The automatic would be Bianca Belair, right? You would think, right? I'm kind of believing now
for the first time Bianca Rhea thing on main roster.
Right. I'm kind of believing that, yeah, that might not happen with the returning Jade Cargill. I think they might be leading that up to be the match at Mania will be Bianca versus Jade. I think that's what's going to happen. I think they're finally going to start leaning into having Bianca become a heel and probably align herself with the Street Profits. That would be fine. I gotta go with the dark horse with this here, which is probably gonna be crazy. But I would see Roxanne Perez winning this. I think they really have a lot of confidence in her.
Really?
Yeah. I would not be surprised if Roxanne pulls out the win here.
See, this was the tricky one because I think once Raw was in the books, because they had Liv and Raquel win the tag titles off Bianca and Naomi, I'm like, okay, at least Liv has a belt going into this, and they did. And Bianca and Naomi are tag team. They get tell that story in this match, but as far as I think if Liv wins this, I think it's gonna be utter bullshit because that feud has been going on for way too long, and now you're trying to do it again for WrestleMania. I think they run the well dry with that. But I would want to see Bianca win only because I think it'd be interesting to build that match up. But with what I've been seeing on TV and what they've been teasing, I'm gonna say Bailey wins, and we're gonna see Bailey versus Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. And I think also,
Interesting.
and the match too, also with because technically it's not known who the world champion will be because Rhea defends against Io Sky on the Monday afterwards. So maybe we got like a little damage control tease, and maybe Bailey costs her. Like I don't know, we could I guess triple threat Mania, like Bailey, Io, and Rhea. But I'm gonna go with Bailey on this one.
Okay.
And for Roxanne, I think more likely she might be the one to take the women's Intercontinental title off Lyra.
Yeah, I'm saying Roxanne because I think that they're like I said they're very confident in her skills so far. She had a great showing at Rumble. Um, I think it's probably time for her to start making that move up to the main roster. Although there is speculation that Julia will be stepping down after the title for title match because she's dealing with nagging injuries. But the NXT roster is stacked. Roxanne doesn't need to stay there anymore. She's good.
Yeah.
I think this is probably a time for her to take that next step. And Sean might have just told Triple H, "Yeah, I think it's time for her to make that move." So yeah, I definitely can see Roxanne, but Bailey could be interesting because that'll be her main eventing two manias in a row, and which she hasn't done in, before that ever. So
I'm not mad at the Roxanne thing. I think it's just too soon.
mm,
I think it's just a good sign that they putting her in this match. But I think also too now with the whole Julia thing, if she's could be out for a little bit, she might be working NXT Stand and Deliver. We'll have to wait and see if she's gonna be doing double duty. We'll have to. I mean, Jordan Grace is down there. I guess they want to give her a opponent that she's used to or something. I don't know.
yeah, they
It's
gotta.
weird. It's weird what they're doing right now with the women.
Yeah, like I said, but they're stacked. The NXT stacked down there. They're when it comes to the women, they're good. Next
Yeah.
up,
All right, this is the men's chamber where the winner goes on to WrestleMania to challenge the undisputed WWE champion. Participants are John Cena, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, Damian Priest, and Seth Rollins.
interesting, fun match. This is actually going to be real. Um, a good match, a good joy to watch. So many individuals in here who uh, don't like each other. You got such cross promotion of hate going on. You got uh Punk and Drew, Punk and Rollins, Damian Drew, Logan Punk. It's so much that's going on here. But the only one that seems to be like
The history between Cena and Punk is about to be revisited.
yeah, revisited. And Cena was like, little dancing around, maybe not being involved in all this stuff, but it could be that we have some stuff going on there.
Yeah.
This I automatically just feel that Cena wins this. This has to be a Cena win here.
Right.
But I would have to say the dark horse here is gonna be Punk. I don't know why. I think maybe down the line that favor that's going to be called from Punk to Heyman might be involved, but I think the better story is just get Cena and Cody at Mania,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll see how it plays out. Especially with The Rock being involved, there is history there with The Rock and Cena as well.
Right.
So, yeah, I see Cena getting the win here.
I think after watching Raw, where Logan and Punk had their interaction, I think they're teasing at least 4 singles matches, at least for me, where it's going to be Cody and Cena, Punk and Logan, Priest and McIntyre, and Roman and Rollins. Those 4 seem like the most on screen, most solidified matches out there. But I mean, I'll say for Dark Horse, not for nothing. I'd be shocked if Drew wins this because then we get Cody and Drew at WrestleMania, which would be something where, I mean, they should have been doing that a couple months ago, but for the past a couple months ago, but they wasted their time with Drew on Raw after the Punk thing, where he should have moved over to SmackDown a little quicker. But I mean, I think it's obvious Cena's winning this. You muted.
Funny, sorry about that. It's funny how you said the pairing, which makes a whole lot of sense. It kind of if the Punk and Logan Paul thing does happen, it kind of would be contradictory to a lot of people's belief was about him when they're saying that he's selfish and all he wants is his WrestleMania match. That's a big match for him to take, and I think that's probably one that he would probably call on his own. That he'll say he'll take that match. It's a money match. There's going to be a lot of eyes. Yeah, that's a match that's going to have a lot of eyes on it. And Punk is not shy from moving away from a spotlight match. That could be something that he can really sink his teeth into. And the other ones that you said, they all pretty much align themselves well. So I could see that happening as well.
Because, I mean, you can definitely see Priest eliminate Drew, and Drew gets pissed off, costs him, knocks him out, makes him get eliminated. I mean, that's the final two are going to be Cena and Punk, and then Logan's going to come back in with Nux and knock him out. Blah,
and
blah,
who did you have? Who did you have Rollins facing?
Roman. Right.
Yeah. That's pretty much. Yeah. That makes a whole lot of sense.
Now, I don't know. I really don't think Roman's going to make the trip out to Canada. Just to slowly walk down the ramp, slowly into the chamber, and do a Superman punch or a spear to Rollins. I don't think that's gonna. No, I don't think. I mean, maybe if the music starts playing or something, and you see Heyman, maybe something like that. But
right.
I mean, because we're not gonna see Roman until a few weeks from now.
And you'll see both Punk and Rollins look like,
oh shit!
What the hell is he doing here?
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, it's just like when you said the favorite thing. I mean, the favorite has to be him getting inserted to the main event of WrestleMania, but I just
somewhere,
right? But maybe it'll be used down the line. But I mean, after Monday, I think they are interested in the idea of CM Punk versus Logan Paul. I mean, you can imagine Logan's doing his podcast, and all of a sudden you hear something in the background. Punk just jumps out of frame and punches this kid in the face.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's gonna be one that he's not gonna shy away from the spotlight. He's gonna, if there's anything that's better than getting a title, is getting that pocket full with some green, making that ego feel nice and warm, filled. I think Phil's ego really is his championship gold.
Yeah.
Lastly,
and then we have, does Cody Rhodes sell his soul to the final boss?
Do we give a shit? Honestly, do we care?
Well, I need to hear your thoughts. What were your thoughts on the Rock thing? Aside from him announcing WrestleMania was going to be New Orleans, because then afterwards it fell off the rails.
Yeah.
Just need a refresher, because I was because I thought the Rock's promo. I mean, it's so crazy to think 20 years later or 30 years later that this guy would become one of the most suffering promo in the business, where he repeats himself, nothing makes anything he says any sense. It's horrible.
He's an old man. He can't talk anymore, and he can't use crib sheets on his wrists like he did before against Cena.
He can't memorize a script.
He's not as prolific as we thought that he was, and I also have to tie that with the fact that Cody is not the antagonist for him. It's when you had someone like a Punk who you can exchange
barbs with,
history, careers. You could go back and forth and lie back at each other with, and both at one time or another was electrifying on the mic. That's fine.
Because your boy killed him on the mic.
Rock Cena, same shit. Two guys, Hollywood guys now. They could trade barbs, trade careers. Who's blockbuster? Who's made a more impact in wrestling? Blah blah. They could go back and forth. That's fine.
And Cena was better on the mic.
I think with Cody is so cookie cutter and
he's handcuffed.
Yeah, but I don't know. Do you think it's handcuffed? I think he's just seems more scripted. He's not. He's fine on a promo, but he's not his father. And I know everybody says that, but he's not his dad, and that's fine. But it's not the same as Dusty and Rick going back and forth on a mic. Like it's not the same. So,
but the material that Cody's spitting out is not really matching the flow because Rock's Rock. Where he's gonna say whatever the hell he says, he's gonna probably curse a bunch of times in his sentences because he's gonna be that clean cut baby face like you said, but. And then he's gonna be like, "Listen, like I'm standing right here, Dwayne. Like that's like the worst thing he's gonna say. Like, he needs to come up with like a line or something or have material. Like he's definitely thinking at the top of his head. Like I have a lot of shit I can say about you, motherfucker.
Yeah, and it's like this whole I want your soul, and it's like. I don't know. It's not giving me any vibes. Although I'm not upset to see a Cody heel turn. I'm open for that. But to heel with Rock, and I get the whole Seth Rollins thing. That's the one that's more interesting to me. With what Seth is telling them. Listen, I was riding with you at Mania after all that we've been through, the wars that we went into, and then for me to back you up at Mania, and now you're having conversations with The Rock. What's this about? That's the more interesting story to me.
Yeah.
As opposed to, I don't know, I and him coming out and Rock coming out with these thousands upon $1,000 shirts, and you're supposed to be this executive kind of guy. I'm not buying it. It's turning me off to the whole shit.
Meanwhile, I think it's the same shirt he's been wearing. It's just he washes it, but it's whatever. But I mean,
that's the final boss.
That's been Cody's thing the whole year. Has it not? I mean, after because like Ron said, like I was the one helping you. Randy was helping you. Kevin was helping you. And look what you went and done. Look what you done, did. You teamed with Roman to help him get back into power.
Yeah. Hey, that's the better story for me.
Like you inadvertently got the tribal chief back. And guess what? There's going to be a day where he comes for your title. And you're not going to have any of us to watch you back. Because you pushed us all away.
You gave Thanos the gauntlet again. Like it became that. So, I don't know. I don't see him aligning with The Rock. I don't see it happen, but I think his heel turn will be more along the lines of the fans forcing it. We've already been hearing it. We've already been hearing the crowd. It's been 50-50. We've been booing him. The only ones you really hear cheering is the kids and such. So I don't really see the turn happen because of The Rock, but I could see that down the line, Cody it becomes more like you guys turned on me. What for all I did for you and this company, this is what you're doing. You changed your thoughts on me. I could see that more.
Shout out to Ben because he goes, not for nothing, everybody. If you're not going to the Elimination Chamber not smelling bullshit, something's gonna fucking happen. Where it's like if Cody says no, like Rock's gonna lay him out, and then it's gonna be I'm in the main event of WrestleMania this year, and you're gonna be like all the fans gonna be all mad again.
I hope they throw shit in the ring. I mean literal shit.
Rock better be like, bring the chamber down, lock me in here.
Oh God! What can you imagine? That was another scenario that I brought up. I said, can you imagine Cena wins the Elimination Chamber and then he just adds himself into the main event, so it becomes a triple threat.
That's what I want. CM Punk to be like, you know what? Here's my favorite. Put me in the match. Make it a 4-way. Fuck it.
Yeah, I could see something like that because they really I think they're running on gas right now. Running on empty, excuse me, as opposed to leading up to a barn burner of a Mania match for Cody. So I think they're running on fumes, trying to figure out whether or not how they're going to build this matchup. It almost reminds me of last year.
Funny enough, it was better last year when The Rock was around being an asshole. But let me ask you this: if somebody, a babyface, is to turn heel and sell their soul to the final boss, whoever the fuck it is, out of the three, who would you be interested in the most? Rollins, Punk, or Cena?
Oof.
With them selling their soul to win the WWE title at WrestleMania off Cody.
I mean, listen, we saw Seth do it before. Why not do it again?
But I think out of the three, it'd be interesting
Yeah.
more to see if it's Punk and or Cena to do that handshake Austin and McMahon did at 17.
No way. Oh, yeah, we saw how great that went. I think it's more. I think Seth will be more of that guy. He's become the ultimate opportunist, like Edge. He's become that guy. Punk will be interesting, but I think Punk is still not a big fan of Dwayne like he was before. So I think Rollins will be the one.
There'll be a lot of like passive aggressive promos between them two. Like, oh, I love you, Rock. Or,
Right. It'll be so.
I mean, shit. If they had a heel, I'd
Yeah.
choose Drew right away. But have Drew align with the Rock.
Drew will be the one that signs the contract. He'll be the one that kicks it, claymores everybody in the ring, and he'll come up and sign the contract.
Because remember when Drew renewed his deal, Rock was the one that gave him like a sword, like engraved with his name on it.
All right, and you'll see him. You'll see the chosen one is back.
Yeah.
That is young. You'll say goodbye.
I mean, shit. I don't mind the theme song now, but I would like that theme song to come back.
Yeah, that one could come back. But yeah, that's gonna wrap us up here on Turnbuckle Tabloid. Just your thoughts on any big excitement going into the Elimination Chamber, or?
I mean, Elimination Chamber matches are going to definitely be interesting. Last year, when we did the review, we were very excited or very pleased with the outcomes of how both matches went, despite waking up at 3 in the morning.
Right.
For the Australia show. I mean, but I think with this show, it's definitely the last push for a lot of people to say, like, okay, I'm excited for Mania. Because this is where they have to start setting shit in stone at this point, where it's like, okay, we're going to see this, and this at WrestleMania. It's going to be a lot, but not many people are fans of Eat Mania or Queen Mania, so they need to do something.
Yeah, Tiffy time. So
I mean, I don't mind a Tiffy turning face, but I think like the fans dictated it. So,
all right. But once again, guys, thanks for checking in. Much to come down from Turnbuckle Tabloid on the road to 500. I wouldn't be doing it without the likes of our boy Homework Mike, who stopped in tonight, and much more. Guys, make sure you check out History and Headlocks this week. Episode is out in the wild now. You guys did the man himself, Christian Cage, Wrestling Spotlight. Make sure you go down memory lane with Mike and Ariana as they discuss the career of the man himself, Mr. Blue Dot Face, who it could have been, and much more. So, guys, don't go anywhere. Stick around. Much to talk about. See you guys in a sec.
2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.
Sit, turn, type, sit. Good boy.